Today, I'm going to talk to young people who are about the involuntary work in the sports sector. First there, Liam Parker, who is a keen BMX biker and does a lot of work at a sports center. And then there's Debbie Sanford, who has volunteered to help with many different sports and who now has a paid job with a sport organization. So, Liam, tell us a bit about the place you work. It sounds really interesting. Yes, it's really cool. Basically, it's a huge space where lots of sport and cultural events take place. It used to be a shipbuilding hangar, but the company went bust years ago. The building was taken over and completely renovated and repurposed about 5 years ago. Now, we have facilities for a kinds of urban sports like skateboarding, breakdancing, parkour, kick scooter. Hang on a moment. Can you explain the last two? A kick scooter is just a normal scooter with a handlebar, deck and wheels. But now we have stunt scooter and special ones for racing. And parkour has been around for a while now. It's a way of moving around an urban environment. It's developed for military training, involved climbing, running, falling, jumping, swinging, and stuff like that. Everyone's seen it on TV and videos, people jumping off incredibly high buildings between rows and things. My passion is for BMX and I want to get other people involved in the sport, but do all kinds of things at the center. I make sure the bikes and scooters meet safety standards. I check the track and ramps so that they are clean and no one can slip and hurt themselves. I teach kids the basics of BMX and do demonstration. I sometimes cook in the burger fan too. Right? So you've learned a lot of skills? Yeah, at first I was a bit nervous about speaking to groups, but now I have no problem giving safety induction to people. I had to learn sports specific first aid in case anyone hurts themselves. Cooking hygiene for the burger fan, maths for taking money and detail. I've had a lot of training in different areas and gained usable certificates. So, all that training will be valuable when you come to look for paid work. Absolutely. I'm still only 18 and I've been volunteering for 2 years. I'd like to stay in this sector and find full-time paid work. So obviously, my experience and skill will help a lot. Thank you, Liam. And now, our other guest has made to jump from voluntary work to paid work. Debbie, you've been involved in many different sports in your 22 years, haven't you? Yes, quite a few. I started off playing football and at county level and then got into coaching. You reckon that I wouldn't have been able to play football without the help of volunteers. So when I had the chance to help other people, I did. Then I started a degree in sport development. I realized that lots of people like me would soon have a degree and be looking for a job and I'd need more experience to compete with them all. So, you volunteered again? Yes, I spent a year helping with an online sport volunteering bureau and volunteered at various events including a cricket tournament, a table tennis championship, and a half marathon. Wow, that's a lot of experience. Yes, I must add that I don't actually play cricket or table tennis myself. Though I do run, you don't have to be an expert in a sport to volunteer. There are lots of jobs that need doing. And now you finish your degree and you're working. That's right. I wrote my dissertation on the retention and recruitment of volunteers, and now I manage volunteers for our organization promoting swimming. I also organize events at a national level. I would never have got the job without all my volunteering experience. It helped me loads. And finally, a question for you both. Do you think we something exploit getting paid, Liam? I believe that you volunteer for about 10 or 20 hours a week. Do you ever feel that you should be paid for what you do? Well, of course, it would be nice, but the organization I have non-profit making and I couldn't really afford to pay and the volunteers. At the moment, I'm happy to do what I love and gain experience of dealing with the public. I'm living with my parents and they are paying my keep. In the future, I have to look for paid work. I think many volunteers feel they want to give something back to their sports. It was like that for me with football. Ideally, it would be good to have more paid position, but we also need volunteers. Sport just couldn't function without them. It is really important to give people recognition for what they do. Talk. Thanks very much for sharing your experience. And now we're going to move on.